sitting here laughing to myself just a little bit. In the 3 seconds that I've paused from the last video, and the last two videos that I just recorded, not that anybody really cares, were like 10 minutes a piece. And I was just talking straight for 10 minutes. And I know that other people on YouTube definitely do this for much longer periods of time, 40 or 50 minutes, and I absolutely applaud them. It's amazing. I'm just realizing to myself how funny it is. Most of my life I've been quiet. Most of my life I've shut my mouth and been the just, I guess I've taken on the persona of my dad to some degree. And he's kind of a wallflower. He doesn't say much either. Only speaks occasionally. Sort of funny that I give him the definition of a wallflower. I only recently came to this because I happen to be looking through a birthday book, of all things, of what your birthday is supposedly meaning, or meant to represent, I guess, about you, or meant to represent about who you could be or who you would likely be, I suppose. And that was the definition that they gave to him. And it's kind of the case, I think. I mean, he definitely liked to tell stories and all that. But nonetheless, I've had the same tendency to not really say much, honestly. Or at least that was my experience with the relationship I had with my dad, which was, after the age of about, I don't know, 11 or 12, maybe close to the kind of teen years, I guess. He backed off, hardcore. He was very authoritarian and very physically dominant, I guess. He liked to utilize physical punishment when it came to discipline growing up. And I mean, that was one of the ways that I definitely learned to shut my mouth, because why would you hit me? Why would you assault me? I understand you're trying to get a message, but what? You don't even do that to dogs, really, right? Why would you do that to your own children? There's got to be a better way, right? I understand. I see why there's the tendency to want to do that, because it does get the message across very effectively, but just very strange. But I guess all my life I've had a little bit of a problem with authority. And I think I've said before that I don't really remember a whole lot about my childhood years, but I do have a feeling that if I was tapped into any degree as a child, which, let's be real, all children are, until they have that snuffed out of them, or suppressed, or beaten down, or whatever. I probably pissed him off a lot. The school system didn't like me very much either. I didn't really care for my teachers for the most part. There were a couple that I liked. One that sticks out very much so was a teacher I had twice who just happened to be... She happened to change the grade that she was teaching. I think she went from like first grade to third grade or something. Mrs. Obermeyer was her name. God bless her soul. Whether she actually had my best intentions at heart, I'm not sure. But I did like her whenever I was a kid, at least. Whatever the case, to make things worse for me, personally, my elementary school years were at a Christian school. So that was fun. That was very entertaining. It's just as strict as my dad liked to be. And he backed them wholeheartedly with whatever it is. If they said that I was doing something wrong, he agreed. And oftentimes what that would be is me as a young kid that had no trouble with schoolwork and would finish it very quickly, not trying to brag. I don't think any of the curriculum is worth anybody's time. I think it's a complete waste of time for everybody. And there is no good reason why we should learn a majority of the stuff that we learn in school. I mean, some of the basics, okay, I understand. But let's be honest, the whole system was built for us to be incentivized to enslave ourselves, essentially, to a 9-to-5 work schedule. But, again, besides the point. And so I'd be done with my work soon, or very quickly. And if they gave homework, I could even have that finished in the time that was allotted during the day. Sometimes. If it was given early enough. But once those things were done, maybe not the homework, but, the schoolwork nonetheless. What does a kid want to do? He wants to talk, I guess. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. Socialize, whatever. Be free, be happy, be joyful. Interact with the friends that you have around. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that, I guess, if you haven't been shut down yet? So that's what I tried to do. Was talk to the friends around me. But that was quickly met with hostility. Met with hostility. I don't know if I said meant, whatever. Met with hostility. Hostility, at least to the degree of be quiet, stop talking. To be repeated and repeated and then reinforced with discipline. Like training a dog. I know. I understand. It all makes sense. And oftentimes it would be escalated if I refused through my consistent efforts of just doing what I wanted, which was to talk. Often led to getting my father involved or whatever, you know. And it's, man, it's just so sad. It was a perfectly orchestrated plan, like, not only just for me, because I know that so many other people are going through or went through this exact kind of thing. And I don't know if anybody else reacted like I did, but it just became less and less worth it for me to buck the system. As a child who felt utterly powerless against the very large and physically imposing adults, even women, whatever. I mean, it wasn't so much the physically imposing part as much as it was the networking, the people they know or knew or were connected to, whatever, i.e. the principal, which means my dad, kind of a deal. It's funny how these things work, but whatever. I just took it upon myself to start shutting my mouth. And it's funny looking back on my life now. I suppose that's been one of the larger challenges that I've dealt with in my life is just speaking up for myself. Especially that, speaking up for myself. I mean, just talking in general. Like, the older and older that I got, I think the more and more I retreated inside. Which turned out, actually, this was perfectly orchestrated for me because it turned out to be the best thing possible for me. That seems to be the best way for me to work. And I suppose that it's sort of funny. It's funny how these things work out, because the only place that you can fix these things is inside yourself. Wow. Like, you done fucked up. So you're telling me your plan was to make me shut up, which made me have to be by myself all the time. And that just so happens to be the best recipe for me to tear everything that you built within me down. You being the system. It's so funny how that works. And it's so beautiful at the same time. I love how life, whether it looks like it's perfect or not, and I'm seeing it so clearly now, everything is in its perfection. How could it not be? So that's what I'm learning about myself, is I have a lot to say. And as I'm looking at the timer, it's going on 15 plus minutes or whatever that I've just been. I know there's some dead space here and there, and if you have a problem with that, you can leave. I don't care. I'm getting to the point that I'm unattached from basically everything. And I'm perfectly content to die every single day to myself. Every moment, if necessary. Because who I think I am is not important whatsoever. Who I am is important. And I am that. I am. Tavamasi. That old saying. I mean, that's old for sure. I think that's, is it, I don't know if it's Hindi or, I don't know what language that is. Somebody fill me in. Maybe I'll do the research myself and I'll already have the answer by the time that somebody answers this for me, but I know it's from some, like, South or East Asian culture. Alan Watts used to say it all the time. I give Alan Watts a lot of credit for the things that I've learned. Him and, oh my gosh, so many other people. Joe Dispenza, just random different sources. But either way, all this rant to say that life is beautiful and I can't help but laugh and just be giddy about the hilarity and perfection and paradoxical nature and just all this stuff. Everything is so funny. Just, it's so good. Can't get over it.